Hey, good morning, man. I am feeling awesome today. How about you? Are you in a good mood? I am because it's Wednesday, man. It's the beginning, it's the middle of the week. It's hump day. We're right there, right at the cusp. And as always, we always connect at this time of the week, no matter how the week started out for us. We start Monday in beast mode and we get to Wednesday and we work hand in hand to get over the hump to make sure that we can end the week on a strong note. So here we are. So over the last few weeks, as you know, I've spoken in some form or another about taking action. And I think this week I also want to stay on that subject because if you are even remotely interested in being a lifetime achiever, you have to take action, man. You absolutely have to take action. It's an important part of the formula for success, right? It's an important ingredient in the recipe. You can't bake a cake without flour, can you? I mean, if you're making apple pie, for heaven's sake, what kind of apple pie would it be without apple, right? It's an important ingredient in the recipe for success, taking action. I quote Pablo Picasso a lot, and he says that action is a foundational key to all success, right? If you set goals, you have to take action because if you do nothing, as I've often said, you get absolutely nothing, right? If you agree with me, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Let me feel the love, right? By the way, if you can hear me clearly, it's really important. Give me a thumbs up there, right? So yeah, if you do nothing, you get nothing. Tony Robbins says that you have to take massive action. And that's because it's not a one and done thing, right? It's never a one and done thing. It's about taking action, but taking it consistently. And by taking consistent action, what I mean is that you have to commit. You have to dedicate yourself wholly and completely to doing the things that are going to lead you eventually towards your goals. As I said, there are all these things that go into you being successful, but oftentimes the thing that separates the winners from the losers, and I don't really like to use the word losers, the successful people from those who are still trying to get there, the things that separate them, the thing that separate often the haves from the have-nots, or excellence from mediocrity, is this business of taking consistent action. We live in what I would call a microwave society, right? People want success and they kind of want it now. And we hear so often of the overnight successes, the sports superstar or the pop singer or the actor, right? The multi-billion-dollar company who that just kind of seemed like out of nowhere they just sprung up. But the truth is, if you were ever to look at these persons or companies, you'll realize that they spend, years working in obscurity, doing, taking the necessary steps over and over again consistently so that one day we all could recognize them as overnight, quote unquote, overnight successes. There's no such thing. It's about working and doing and taking the actions consistently, right? So, a lot of people, I think, confuse working hard with taking consistent action. Working hard means that you're exerting a lot of effort. You're putting your shoulder to the wheel, so to speak, right? You're really making effort. And should you work hard? Should you make effort? Absolutely, right? But if you only put in the grind once in a while, if you really just go for it once in a while, I promise you that your success at best will be unremarkable, right? The hard work that you put in, that you know you're capable of, you can't do it once in a while. You have to do it consistently, right? In order to reap the benefits of the work that you put in. So how do you do that? Well, John Canfield, if you're familiar with him, he's one of the authors, along with Mark Victor Hansen for the book Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? He suggests that we apply the rule of five. The rule of five. And what is that? It is simply a commitment to taking 5 daily actions, doing 5 specific things that are going to move you towards your goals. Doing that every single day. That's a commitment that he's suggesting, right? So for him, when he and Mark were doing their book initially, the Chicken Soup for the Soul, they came up with the idea then, and so they started, setting up 5 interviews every day, or sending 5 books to 5 editors who could review it, and so on and so forth, right? And what you find is that this rule of 5 it's effective because it gets you to really focus and in fact gets you to think outside of the box and to consider things that you've probably never thought of before. So, what would that look like for you is the question. Well, let's say you had a health goal, right? Right off the bat, you think about exercising and eating healthy. But what else could you do? Well, maybe you could learn a new healthy recipe, or you could decide to use the stairs instead of the elevator, or walk the 10 blocks instead of driving. Maybe you could start reading up on articles or books on weight loss or health, and so on and so forth. There are so many different things you can do. If you're a salesperson or an entrepreneur, it could mean reaching out to 5 new prospects every day, or reaching out to 5 existing clients who you haven't touched base with in a while, right? If you're looking to get promoted on the job, it could mean doing 5 things every day that's going to help you to improve your knowledge base and your skill level so that you could be considered for a promotion, right? Now, obviously, these things that we're suggesting, you don't have to necessarily do the same thing every day, but you should endeavor to do 5 things every day. That's the magic of the 5-day rule. Now, let's say for some reason you can't come up with 5 things every day that you can do. How about 5 things every week? Can you imagine if you deliberately and consistently do 5 things every single week? That is going to lead you towards your goal. How different your year will look like at the end of the year. How different your life would feel, right? And so, yes, success is ultimately possible, not just by dreaming, not just by being persistent, not just by, learning how to work with a team, but by doing the things that you need to do consistently. That's the magic word. Consistently. We have to learn to take consistent action. You do that, and I promise you, you will become a lifetime achiever. All right, so those are the thoughts I had for you this week, friends. Wanted to stop by and share them. It's always a pleasure to see, so many of you coming on the broadcast. Feel free to share this with your friends, right? I'm sure they'll find it valuable. Don't forget to check out my website, www.devonharris.com. And you know the deal. Before we connect next week, this time, same place, make sure you go through the week and you're always keep on pushing. Thank you.